Welcome back to Watercolor Play series. I'm Mary Helen. I'm a transpersonal art therapist and artist, and I help people reclaim joy through creativity. And if you're just tuning in, this video is part of a series of videos that give you short and very accessible watercolor techniques that you can have a play with. They're not going to take you much longer than 5 minutes, but hopefully it's a beautiful activity for you to have a rest and enjoy the beauty and soothing qualities of watercolor paint. So what do I need for today? Well, today I'm working with a bit of experimenting with textures and how they combined and react with the surface of watercolor paint. So what do I need? I need my watercolor card. I've got a 300 GSM watercolor card here. Any watercolor paper will really do. I've got my watercolor palette. I've got a pencil for writing down what I'm doing. And I have a brush, a jar of water, essential, right? And then I've got a little bit of paper towel and then just a little bit of plastic. So today we're going to play with these different surfaces. So I'm actually just going to write down what I'm using, because after I put these aside and I finish having my play, I may not remember what I used. So I always think it's handy to write down what you're doing, because I like to see these as just ideas, places to play, starting points in your creative practice. Okay, so I'm going to write down here paper towel and plastic bag. All right, and I think we'll start with a wet on wet, a bit of wet on wet. So to do that, I'm going to wet my brush and then wet my paper. So I'm going to just wet that first. Look at that gorgeous light coming through my window. All right, and now I'm going to choose a color. I can already see my blues activated. So in my other videos, I do tell you to wait a little bit for everything to activate. So this has already activated my paint, so it's cool to go. And that's obviously if you're using one of these. And now I'm just going to do a wash over my page. I'm going to be generous with like getting some darker bits in there. I'm just filling this page up. There's no plan here. And that is so watercolor because it does its own thing and we get to watch. All right, so I'm just going to wash that out. I'm going to be pretty generous because, well, I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. So we're looking at the reaction of two surfaces meeting. All right, beautiful. A generous amount of blue there. All right, so I'm going to scrumple up my plastic bag, and you could use foil. You just need a little bit depending on the size you're using. And I'm going to plonk that down on top. Ooh, look at that already. You can kind of see some very interesting patterns happening. I'm going to leave that there, and then I've got my paper towel. I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm just going to... Yes, noises are essential when you're scrunching things. Scrunch it up. And I'm going to plonk it on just like that. And I'm going to try and leave it, although I know it wants to pop up, but just to give you a little look there. All right. So there's lots of things we could experiment with in terms of applying another surface to this surface that's wet and has paint on it. So obviously what's going to happen is some of the paint's going to be removed and leave us with some textures, and we won't know until it dries. So again, with watercolor, if you join me for my other videos, it's a hurry up and wait type thing, which means that there's nowhere to go. We've just got to wait for it to do its thing in its own time. So let the watercolor do that. We're going to let it dry and come back and see, you know, what happened next. So I'll join you in a moment to see what's dried and what's revealed, and we can pull off all the bits and bobs. All right, see you soon. Okay, so we're back and we're almost dry. We're not completely dry, but I think we're kind of ready to see what happened. So ready for the big reveal. Oh, that was easy. Oh wow, so that little bit of paper towel kind of made some kind of cloud shapes. And let's see what the plastic bag did. Oh, very crystal looking thing. So I'll still need to wait for that to dry to see. But as far as our experiment goes, we can see that different textures, different surfaces of textures, this is a bit of a tongue twister, interact with the wet watercolor surface in different ways. So one was absorbent, and one was absorbent in a different way, is where it just kind of removed different parts but made some beautiful creases and some kind of crystalline shapes in there. Very interesting. And now you could bring in other colors. Yeah, lots of things you could do to play with that. So that was the paper towel and plastic bag. Of course, you can use so many other different surfaces. So please like and subscribe to my channel, like this video, and hey, do send me a picture of what you created. I'm over on Instagram at Markham Movement. Love to see what you made, and do tune in for the rest of the videos in this series of watercolor play. Thank you so very much.